Rogers.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. Top of the afternoon to you. Hello, everyone. I have something to discuss. Yes. Waiting for viewers. Hello. Hello. Do you guys want to chat with me?
They're right here. Come on, y'all. Let's go talk about
What type of music you guys like? Are you an R&B selective person? Do you like a little gospel inspiration? What type do you like? Okay, I'm not gonna wait too long for viewers. If you get on later on, that's good. But what I wanted to discuss this evening, it was been something I've been thinking about. I think sometimes I'm an overthinker, so I try not to do that. But everything I believe is a process. That's my title. Everything is a process. But it's just important. Are you going through your process in a healthy way? Okay, so I was just thinking how when I was dating, there was this cliche of we're just gonna be friends. We're just gonna be friends. And what do a person really mean when they're saying friends? When they say friends, or friends with benefits, or we're just gonna be friends, or you're the type of person you really want to get to know somebody and you think that person is the right fit for you, and then they say, well, you know what? No, you're just my friend, right? A person says, you're just my friend, and no, I'm not looking for to be dating you. What do this person really mean by that? They want your space, they want your time, but they just want to be your friend. I'm talking about in dating. What they're really saying is they want the benefits with you of being your friend, wanted the intimacy with you. They want the work that you're putting in on what you have to offer them. But if they don't want a commitment, that means if they been caught doing something that may offend you and not committed to you, they can say, well, you know what? We just friends. So you should be okay with that. So they don't want to take accountability. But what I would say, what do they really mean by what is friends? Like, yeah, it's confusing to me because, yes, we need to be friends to get to know each other. But you treat your friend like that? You're not honest with your friend? You have to be honest with your friend. If you have a friend, you're honest with your friend. So you're not going behind their back doing anything against them. You know, you're honest with your friend. You're honest with what your expectations is, or you're being accountable. Your friend, because that's your friend. You don't want to hurt your friend. So to me, that's just taking accountability off of the thing. So never, if you're in the dating field, never go with someone who says, well, you know what, we're just friends. She's just my friend. Okay, I can accept that. You're just my friend. So that means you should tell your friend everything. A friend is someone who's close to you. A friend is someone that you respect. What is a friend to you? Someone that you respect, right? So you can't use that excuse just to betray me because you're my friend. No. That's not blowing over for me. Another thing that I get in the dating world, even though I'm not ready for dating, I know what. See, people say that I'm not ready for dating. Are you truly ready for dating? Are you the type of person who is marriage material? Right? If I get in the dating field, see, I gotta be in reality. Like, am I good for that person right now? Am I working on some things for me? Would that be good? Right? Or am I not just ready for dating, but I will be out there gathering a whole bunch of friends? But I heard people say, and what irritates me when people say, well, I don't want to be, I don't believe in marriage. What? And then I'll ask them, I'll say, well, why do you believe in marriage? Because all marriages fail. Don't believe that hype. Because a person who don't believe in marriage, have you ever thought that's not true? Because the aspects of marriage is beautiful. It's work. What is marriage to you? You know, don't you know you the key factor in the marriage, and it's work? It's work. So you're the key factor in marriage if you're gonna get married. So just keep it real. Stop making these cliches and these things that you're with someone, you just tell that person that you're on the field. I'm not looking for marriage. Actually, when somebody say, well, I don't believe in marriage, are you the type of person who go out there and date with the end goal of marriage? Like, it's okay if you don't want to be married because you just feel like you just don't want to be married. But don't use someone and gaslight someone by using the phrase, I just don't believe in marriage. You know, because all marriage, you think just because there's a title of marriage that makes it successful just because I'm married? No. Marriage comes with you, two people that's whole. Okay? So my mindset says, are you in the marriage for the benefits of the marriage or what the person can offer you? Or are you in the marriage for the work effort that you can offer? The good things and a good advice to you, if you're talking about a prospect of someone that you're dating, ask them, what does marriage look like to you? What do you think that I have to offer in the marriage? I mean, in the relationship first, you know, because it's a process. First, you get to, yes, you're a friend of the person. Then you get to know the person. Then you date the person. And then you go into marriage with that person, right? If you started dating and the first thing someone says when you bring up marriage, they say, I don't believe in marriage, that should bring up a red flag for you. Like, I'm not asking like to marry you tomorrow. I just want to know what's your views on marriage. And if their views is negative on marriage, saying, nah, all marriages fail. Well, your marriage is not all marriage. You're the key factor in the marriage. So what do you have to offer for marriage? What do you expect your spouse to offer in marriage? What's your expectations on that? So there's some great questions to ask someone when you're dating. What do marriage look like to you? So with me, marriage looks like this. Marriage to me is work. Both parties, full, one person. Each person is complete in the marriage. Marriage looks like to me as a union of oneness. Marriage to me is everything's done financially, spiritually, emotionally, and physically with both parties. And every decision, small decisions and big decisions, is made by both parties. Okay? And it's a commitment. Some people marriage are open, that's fine. But it's up to the two people of what they want their marriage to look like. And it's on both parties. Have you ever asked somebody, like, what do you like about me? And they say, I don't know. Have you ever asked someone that you're talking to, because there's a talking stage, there's a courting stage, what do you want out of marriage? I don't know. Those are some questions that you need to ask. And when the person say, I don't know, it's fine, because sometimes you don't know. Think about it and get back with that person and answer those questions. Find out what you like, because sometimes you don't even know what you like. You're just there. You're just a body. What do you like? What do you like to do? I had someone say, well, I think Jay is just good to find somebody who likes the same things, who understands and does everything that I want them to do. That's impossible. Everybody is not the same. Then it'll be easy. But everybody is not the same. I believe that you just should be morally have the same goals. You don't think the same. I think that's what the person said. Somebody who think like me. No, nobody thinks like you. Nobody has the same perception as you. So I think you should just have the same goals, or making the same goals, the end goals. You might have different perspective, but you got the same goals, right? I think the key factor is spiritually, so you should be in the same era, the same morally, the same religion, the same like the you don't have to actually like the same hobbies, because I might like not even dig golf, but if I try with some hobbies that you like, I might like it, right? So no, that's not the same key factor. Or someone who makes the same amount of money or more money. I think those things are superficial. So yeah, just having the same goals, being able to communicate. Everybody is not going to be able to have the same thoughts as you, but y'all can bounce ideas off of one another, right? I think it needs to be consistent. If you're in that type of situation of being in a committed relationship, it has to be consistency. I believe marriage is, you got to keep doing it whether you feel like doing it or not doing it. It's a commitment, just like a job. You don't feel like going to work every day, right? But you go to work every day. You're committed to doing that. And in marriage, it just doesn't matter just because it's a title and it's something beautiful. It's going to work. No, you have to put forth the effort to do so, right? I believe you should find someone who understands that, right? So don't waste your time. When someone shows you that they don't want a commitment, just that particular person, they just want the benefits that comes with you. And they don't want to put toward the effort when they saying that they want to be your friend. They don't want to put toward the effort. So because they know that they have those tendencies to be found doing things that's not of integrity. They know that they have the tendency of talking to multiple people, but gaslighting you and saying that they're not. So when they're found doing this, they can say, well, we just friends, so what you got to say? But guess what? You don't do your friend like that. So stop using that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. So don't don't waste your time with someone who's projecting on you, controlling, projecting. You know that that's not what you're doing, okay? Don't go into situations or relationships thinking that just because you're bored or just because you're lonely. Because when you do that, that just makes more problems. That just makes more problems. Understand your process and what you're at, where you're at. Right? Understand where you're at in your process. Some of us just coming out of relationships and then we find rebounds. You know, no. That's not the best thing to do. Is to go find someone else to fill that void that you have lost, and find it in someone else just to pass the time. Because when you're doing that, passing the time, then because that's like I said, everything is a process. Whether your process is that I'm going through grief, so I need to put someone in that place to fill that void. And once you're done with your process, then now you got another issue. Because you don't have time to even really see what you have picked. You're going to pick what you feel. However you feel like, that's the type of partner you're going to pick. If you pick a partner in a place that you're insecure, you're going to get someone who manipulates your insecurities. So you need to know what place you in. And it's okay. It's okay. But know that you know. Don't deceive yourself and believe in that everything, like you're okay. Okay, so don't rush your process. Whatever process you're in, don't rush it. And don't allow anyone else to rush you through that. Because everything is a process. Don't ignore the process. Because there's a process in what you got to go through. And you got to go inward within yourself to see, why am I making these type of decisions that I'm making? What is your motive? Why am I making the type of decisions that I'm making? Right? Like, one decision that I'm making is to not give myself time with myself, because I've been in a relationship for 8 years. I was on my way to be married soon, and I was working towards that, and I was in a committed relationship. It's been a year now, and I don't have anybody. So my decision is to deal with me and to deal with my grief and my process. So that's what I'm doing now, with no distractions. getting to know me, getting back to my normal before I invite someone else into my space. I have to know when I'm getting back to my normal. I don't want to be broken and then get into a situation that I'm not complete, and then it's not fair to that other person, because that other person can be a complete person, and now I'm codependent on them to get me through. It's okay to have friends and stuff like that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you don't want to get yourself in a codependent situation, because only you is the key factor of getting yourself through your process of whatever it is. I'm not talking specifically, because we can be talking about a process of getting myself out of debt. Or I could be saying it's a process of me finding a significant other. Or I could say my process is getting financially equipped for myself. My process is not your process. But it's going to take you to figure that out. Because even if you get in and invite someone in that space of yours, that person has to do their part and you have to do your part, right? It's just not fair to invite someone in your space knowing that you don't even want to be with this person. You're using this person for emotional stability. It is your responsibility for your emotional stability, right? It is your responsibility for that. You're putting that person in the place of God. God is the only supplier of your needs, according to his riches and glory. So it's a lot of people saying, oh, well, you know what? They're sad for me because I said, no, I'm not dating. And I really don't see when I will be dating. And the response that I get is people say, well, that's sad. You're going to do that soon. Of course, I know that I'm going to do that soon. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not in that space right now. I'm going through my process. And sometimes, let me give you an example. I have a picture of my fiance, my deceased fiance, in my living room. Someone told me that I will never be able to get a man in my space because I have that picture there, right? But that's not my goal right now, right? And you can't rush anyone through their process. I think I'm doing a great job. Yes, I analyze. Am I grieving healthy? Am I grieving properly? Am I doing the things that I need to do this in a healthy manner, right? I am. But most people, they love me. They're not trying to actually beat up on me. But you can't rush nobody's process. Everybody's process is different. Some people processes, they can't have a picture of this person. That doesn't mean that they love them more or less, right? And I really can't articulate that. You have to be in that situation to really understand. So it's not fair to the person that you love to judge that situation. I see if they're really digressing and they're not living a healthy life and they're not doing the best that they can, then that's when you offer your help, but don't condemn them. You help, you sit down with them and you let them talk, right? And that's the only thing that you really can offer to them. But don't chastise them in that area, right? I can remember with my son, I could use that as an example. With my son, when he passed away, I had a picture of him in the living room. I had a picture of him in the living room for quite some time. Now I have the picture in my bedroom, but it's really not visible. It took me plenty of times, but that doesn't mean just because if I remove that picture, that still doesn't exempt the fact of my grieving process. That's what I'm explaining. So if that intimidated someone because of that, I don't know. I'm just trying to say what will be that person's motive to tell you something like that, right? So sometimes you don't understand that. So something that's not understood, I don't think you should criticize someone unless they're harming themselves or they're really in this deep, dark place. You really, it is their responsibility. You could pray for them. You can be there for them. That's what I would suggest. Yeah. So sometimes you can find people who would think that you're vulnerable because of that. So make sure if you're in that situation, because I know a lot of people I'm not alone. It's a lot of people who are grieving, and if you're grieving and you're in that space, you don't need no one in your space who will feel that you're vulnerable just because you're in that space, if that makes sense. Don't take an advantage of people who's going through that just for a gain for yourself. That's not good. So yeah, I just wanted to get online and the things that I'm thinking of. And the reason why I thought about that, because it comes to mind sometime for me. Don't get me wrong. It does cross my mind sometimes. I can have a friend, but that's not fair to someone, especially if I'm not wanting the thing, or I'm just using that friend just to be in my space as a codependent to do this for me, which is not good for me or that person, right? I don't know what God has in store for me, but me having the Holy Spirit, I know what's right and wrong, right? And right now it's the space for me to build myself emotionally, spiritually. I should be taking the time to get closer to God and doing the things that I need to do to make myself healthy, right? And that's what helps. I want a healthy situation. And I think I'm doing pretty well. Sometimes you have to know that and pat yourself on the back. God is good. I wouldn't have made it this far without him. He is so good. He is awesome. So I just wanted to get online. I mean, it's like this. People have a strong desire, because no one wants to be alone, to be in a relationship with a significant other and have that space occupied. But first you got to learn how to be a whole person in your singleness. So yeah, do I have a desire? Yeah, but that will come. I want something that God ordained for me to have. So I will wait, and I will do what it needs to take. And in the time of me waiting, I will take care of myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I have been married before, so I do know, and I have told my ex-husband when we had ended up departing and separating, and I had an epiphany, and things weren't working out so well for us to make a healthy marriage. And it was some things that we needed to do to make this marriage not end. And I explained to him, I said, even if we get a divorce, we still need to do that for ourselves. And let me give you an example. Rent still gets taken care of. You still have to do that for yourself. You have to take care of yourself emotionally, spiritually, financially, and all of those areas. It still has to be taken care of. So a lot of times when you're in a marriage, you use that as a crutch, like you're in a marriage and you say, that's the reason why I can't get what I'm getting. So I need to separate from this because this marriage is holding me back, which is not true. You're holding your own self back because you are the factor in that marriage. So it's so easy when someone's in front of you to blame that person. No, you need to look inward, see what's going on with you that's making these choices of why you're getting these results, right? So yeah, I said that. Yeah, you have to take care of that even if you're single. Yeah, it's easier. And then the response is, one thing I could tell him, that he was a truthful person, because his response is, it's much easier to do it by yourself though. And he's right. It is much easier to do it by yourself, right? But I just had a different aspect of that, because I know, me being a woman, building something, yes, I can do it by myself. Let's just say that we're building a building, right? We know a man is stronger physically, right? And I can look back and I'm intellectually able to say, well, okay, you take that brick, you pick it up, oh, move this way or this and that, right? I think it's better with two. But some people's mindset is, you know what? I'm very frustrated because I don't want to have to tell you that, right? So maybe it is for you to be single. But then once you're single, you work inward, and sometimes it's even harder to figure out yourself. Because those individuals say, you ask yourself a question. You need to ask yourself this. What do I like? You got to see what's to you. Get to know yourself. What do I like? What's my favorite color? What type of, understand yourself. You need to know yourself. And then you start asking those questions when you're with someone else. What do I like about this person? Anybody on the line who has somebody, write down, what do you like about that person? And if that is, I can't figure it out, that's an issue. You better be able to figure that out. What is it about that person that you like? Because we can really say what we don't like about a person. What do you like about that person? Right? So, that's a nugget there. And it's a lot of things we can say what we don't like about ourselves. Right? So easy to look at the negative than the positive. It is. What do you like about yourself? You know what I like about myself? I continue to show up for myself. Give yourself that affirmation. Me, I like for myself, no matter what I'm going through, I make sure I show up for myself. And then start asking yourself these questions. I'm just rambling on. Ask yourself these questions. What do you think that person that, and I'm not even talking about a significant other, your best friend may like about you? Ask them. Y'all get out of these unbeneficial relationships, for real. And see what you putting in a relationship too. I have a best friend of 10 years. I have a best friend of 30 years. And I had to analyze our relationship. What I like about her. What do I think she like about me? Right? You can never change anybody though, for real. If you going in a situation, whether it's, you can't change nobody. I don't know if I'm talking about in general. Relationship is relationships. You can have a relationship with your sister. You can have a relationship with your spouse. You can have a relationship with your kids. You can have a relationship with your mother. You can have a relationship. Do you have a relationship with yourself? You're supposed to have a relationship with yourself. I'm talking about relationships. Of course, you should have a relationship with God, right? What do you have to offer for these relationships, right? And what do the person offer for you, right? You cannot change nobody. So if those things that they're saying, hey, I can offer the bread, you offer the milk, right? And that person said, no, I don't have no milk. Believe them, they don't have no milk. You can't make them have no milk. I'm using the, so believe them. So, yeah. So, my friend of 30 years, you know what I like about her? She's very consistent. She's for her word. If she's going to say something, believe her. She will do it. If she put her word, she's for her word. Her word is bond. You hear me? Her word is bond. She always shows up when I need her. I showed up for her. And then I was thinking the other day, I have a friend, I'm not going to say her name, the friend for 30 years. Do you know I borrowed money from her? I can't count one time my best friend borrowed some money from me. And that bothers me. She don't borrow money. Actually, my best friend, she started talking to me about things. She don't tell her business. I could talk to her about anything. Now she's a little bit open to things like we have talked about our marriage or something that we made, and we offer advice. But she don't. And I'm like, wow, why she don't do that? It kind of offended me. I have talked to her about it, but she ain't gonna borrow no money from me. I'm like, I'm trying to think of a way. And I started saying, well, let me think of a way that I could do that for her. So you know what I said? I'm going to buy her a gift. I said, you still can do it. Just buy her a gift. Buy her something. See, these are the things, and this friend of me for 30 years, shame on me. Shame on me that I haven't thought about that. See, you need to think about those things. What you have to offer. You know what I'm saying? It can't be always like that, because I have borrowed some money from her a couple of weeks ago. I was in a crunch and I borrowed some money from her. And I started feeling bad. I was like, when have shame on me. I was like, when have she ever, I couldn't think, would she ever, and she have never, out of 30 years plus, never asked me for anything. Never. And then I was like, what have I did for her? I have took her out. I'm not measuring this. This is just me. Because in a relationship, you ain't supposed to measure this. But I felt bad. So I was like, well, I did take her out to dinner a couple of times. After 30 years, though, for real, I said, you know what? I'm finna buy my friend a gift. So this is the thing. What do she like? At least I know what she likes. At least I ain't that bad. I know what she likes. So I'm going to get it for her. When I think about it, I may share it with y'all and let y'all know what I did for her. Because that is really a good friend. A very good friend of mine. I thank God for putting her in my life. So that's what I'm saying. I may be rambling on, and I hope you guys getting something out of this. But it's just as of relationships itself, you know. There's important relationships in our life. Like with my mother. That's relationship. Think about your relationships and how you can make those relationships better. Okay? With your kids. How you can make those relationships better. Right? So I'm going to piggyback on it when I was in the dating scene. Right? When I was in the dating scene, I used to hate the game. Like, people be like, and I remember when I was fresh in the dating scene after I divorced. And it took me a year or two or whatever, and I got in the dating scene. And then I was like, people were giving me pointers. They was like, girl, don't call him. Let him call you. I said, if I want to call him, I said, I don't like this. You count the time that he texts you. You count the time no. If you do it, like, no, I hated the dating scene. And I'm back on it one day. But, anywho, now I'm really rambling on. But, what I want you guys to take from this is, look at your relationships that you have. And how you can make it better. Because the point that I was making is, a person says they're not marriage material because marriage fails. And the way I look at it, marriage fails because of the factor of the people in the relationship. You can't base that off of that. Like, don't you know you the key factor in the relationship? So yeah. Look at your relationship. My homework is, I'm my best friend of 30 years. I'm going to buy her a gift. And it's not about the money. And, you know, it's about the thought that counts. But I really am. And it's a few relationships that I looked into that I'm going to enhance. Because I could do better. Right? So I hope I just wasn't rambling on. If it's not, it's good anyway. You guys have a prosperous, today Thursday, right? Thursday. And those who care about me, I'm doing well. And if it wasn't for the Lord, I wouldn't. But the fact of the matter is, I am grieving, but I am grieving healthy. And I am going through my process. And I thank God that He's going and walking through it with me. I thank God that I have a support system. It's people that I can talk to and people pouring into me. I am just so blessed with the circle that God have given me. It's a few people that I have in prayer that are going through similar situations that I'm going through. And I want you to know, if you pass this live, I am praying for you to, for your process, that you will be going through your process in a healthy way, that God will bless you with a support system, that God will comfort you and keep you, because the truth of the matter is, you're the key factor in the point, and you have to know that. Yeah. Bless you. For anybody who's going through that, may the Lord His Holy Spirit just girdle up in you and give you the strength and give you the encouragement and give you the knowledge that pass all understanding, that rule your heart in Christ Jesus. Yes, bless your family. Bless your situation, because I know it's hard. But anything is possible through Jesus Christ. God bless you guys. Thanks for allowing me to share. I was just all over the place, but God is good. You guys have a blessed one. Bye-bye.